The Fragments of Guilt, the Multiversal Journey of Miles Morales. Chapter 4, The Putty Invasion. My name is Miles Morales, and after Union Day, Mr. Pocket gave me the mission to explore the new multiverse made by the two universes merging together. My main issue was the Reverse Flash. He kept deleting universes as I was exploring them. Due to this, I made some allies. I brought people back to my universe. People who had lost theirs. They made refuge in an abandoned motel, I guess. I couldn't tell anymore. It was my base of operation. I stayed away from New York and the people I knew. I took the loss of Peter hard, so I buried myself in work in saving the new multiverse. Until now, I woke up to the array of strange noises. I looked outside and saw American Spider fully suited, with the Red Hood and Little Red also fully suited, fighting strange grey foot soldiers which were falling out of big portals in the sky. I quickly got suited and jumped out the window, shooting a web and swung over to the trio. "Looks like you guys met," I noted. "Yeah, they seem pretty cool," the American Spider said with a chuckle. "What are these things?" Little Red barked. "I don't know. But right now we gotta get these things away from our house," I ordered. I shot a web and pulled one of the grey goons closer. I threw a hard punch and the grey goon was thrown backwards. It landed on the ground and exploded into lumps of clay. We all stood in front of the small army before us. Red Hood pulled out his 2 pistols and started firing. Each shot was a headshot. The clay beings in front of us, as their heads popped, as the bullets hit them, their bodies fell apart into lumps of clay. The American Spider jumped forward and smacked one of them with his shield and rammed the rim of it into the throat, causing it to crumble. Little Red pulled out a bow staff. Both ends became electrified. He spun the staff around and smacked several of the clay creatures in the head, in the chest, in the legs, taking down a few of them. I was impressed. I jumped up and shot 2 webs on the ground and pulled back and slingshotted myself down into the crowd and slammed into one of them. I webbed it to the ground. I then charged my fist with bioelectricity and rammed it into the chest of another clay-like creature. It stood there frying, then it dropped to the ground. One dived at me, throwing one of its fists at me. It threw me off balance, hitting me hard, then it threw another. I managed to catch it, my spider sense consistently ringing. I grabbed it and lifted it into the air, and I sent a surge of bioelectricity into it and tossed it into the group. I turned it into a live bomb. It exploded, the shockwave taking out the rest of them. We all stood there catching our breath, and I looked up at the sky and saw several portals opening all across the city. "We gotta help them," the American Spider blurted. "We cannot," I mumbled. "Why not? There's people in danger," Little Red snapped. "You guys are from alternate universes. People can't know you're here. It's not safe. I can't risk losing that. You guys stay here and I will do a search and I'll have a look," I ordered. The 3 of them looked at each other, looked back at me and nodded. They weren't really in a position to argue. I then walked up to the American Spider. I still found it strange that underneath our masks we were the same person, a version of one another. "Hey, you've got to take point, okay? Check on the weirdo as well. Just don't give him his Infinity Stone. That does not belong to him right now. I do not know what happens if he uses it, as it's a stone from a different universe. And make sure you look out for each other," I told him. "Yes, okay, I got you. Go," he replied. I nodded at him. Then I reloaded my web cartridges and I shot a web and I swung towards the city. It wasn't far. I got into the city pretty quick and found people calling for help. People in need. I had not done your normal friendly neighborhood saving in a while, but duty called. I swung down and I kicked the clay creature off a girl and webbed it to a wall as it collided with it. I then turned to the woman. "Oh, thank God. Spider-Man. Wait, you're the young one. Not the new young one, but the younger one, right? From Harlem?" the woman sighed. "Yeah, I am," I nodded with a slight chuckle. "Please, I'm trying to get to that helicarrier transport vehicle," she blurted. I looked around and I saw it in the distance, a helicarrier transport. My guest shield stepped in and started aiding those in need, allowing the heroes, those that were left at least. Who were they? I didn't know. They were new, maybe they're old, but they were able to stop this threat. I picked up the woman and I shot a web. It reminded me of the days I used to carry those in need to medical aid, to an ambulance or to a hospital, or just simply out of danger. I swung through the streets filled with clay creatures as they fought the SWAT soldiers in hand-to-hand combat. They were good. Not great, but good. I swung over the streets, being careful with the woman in my arm. Every now and then, she'd gasp as the momentum would hit her stomach. It was a strange feeling carrying someone again. I swung over to the helicarrier transport and landed on the ground. I placed the woman down on her feet and she hugged me. "Thank you so much," she said, tears filling her eyes. "You're welcome. Now go be safe," I told her. She ran onto the transport and then I walked up to the SHIELD agent. "Spider-Man! Bloody hell, it's good to see you," he blurted at me. "Thanks, you too. I have a question. Rio Morales?" I asked him. "Already on board. All the officials were as far secured," the officer told me. "Thanks a lot. Another question. The other Spider-Man?" I asked him. "Yeah, he's here. He's been around for a few months. Seems pretty good. I saw him swing around not too long ago, headed into the center of the city. More likely to handle these putty things," the agent explained. "Thanks. Make sure you check on every building, okay? Don't miss anything out," I told him. He saluted at me. I shot a web and I swung away and headed into the city. The agent called them putties, and they were everywhere, scrolling up the buildings, attacking every street. There wasn't anyone around but the putties. They just stood there or wandered around making these horrible noises. It was like I was swinging over the set of a zombie movie. I then saw him, the other Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, swinging into the new station building. I shot a web and I followed him. If you would like to find out exactly what happened when Miles Morales first met the new extraordinary Spider-Man, also known as Logan, then please make sure you check out the Invasion of the Putties, a crossover event that happened in the Marvel and DC fan-fictional universe, aka the Unionverse, the exact event that's going on right now within this chapter. The whole crossover can be found on Tiger Tales X, the YouTube channel. I landed on the roof of the building opposite. I watched as the new Spider-Man swung in the opposite direction. I ended up helping him. He seemed cool. He seemed like he was a good person. Maybe a bit inexperienced, but I couldn't judge him for that. I was in his shoes once. A part of me wished I could help him, like Pete helped me. But I couldn't. I had a new mission. The multiverse needed to be saved by the Reverse Flash. I swung away and headed back to the motel. I landed on the ground and saw my 3 new allies fighting more putties. I looked up and saw another portal in the sky. I shot several webs hitting the putties, making it easier for Red Hood, Little Red and American Spider to get rid of them. Once the putties were cleared, I filled them in on what was going on. "So what, we just stand here and look pretty?" Little Red asked. "Yeah, we do," I muttered. "Why can't we help?" the American Spider asked me. "'Cause if I know Mr. Pocket, which I do, he has this covered," I sighed. I silently beat myself up, knowing full well that the new Spider-Man, the X-Men, hell, everyone could use my help. But I was needed here. We waited and we fought those putties who fell out the sky. And then suddenly, like in a flash of light, the portals were gone. And so were all the putties. "Well, now I'm just confused," Red Hood muttered. "It means we won. We're out of danger. The world once again is safe," I grunted. "So now what?" American Spider asked bluntly. "Now I get back to my mission and you wait here," I ordered. They all watched as I loaded my web shooter with a multiversal cartridge and I shot it. The result was a multiversal portal opening. I then shot a web and pulled myself into the portal and the portal closing behind me. I was tired. It'd been a couple hours of us fighting the putties, and I knew full well I should have helped. I should have done more. I should have done something. But they managed to save the world without me just fine. My job was exploring the multiverse. That was my purpose. Hell, I don't even believe that. I don't believe in myself anymore. I just spin my webs, fight the good fight, and beat the bad guys. It's just my luck the bad guy is the fastest nutcase going. I landed in a new universe and stood tall. I took a deep breath in and I shrugged off the niggling feeling I had. The feeling that I was doing the wrong thing. But what do I know?
What you have just listened to is a product created by the Three Ranger Bros Studio.
Hosted by 3 cosplaying fathers who
happen to be massive geeks of all sorts of fandoms.
They are Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger,
Cosplay Dude 637,
and Tiger.
The studio covers different types of YouTube videos, TikToks, podcasts, and live streams.
If you wish to find out who cosplays who, the YouTube channels, the TikTok accounts, and the podcasts, and all of the other social media platforms,
please go to the 3rangerbrostudios.com.